All right, KISS Army, welcome to the KissFAQ Podcast. Thank you for giving us your time today and letting us into your head. I hope we don't do any damage. This is a KISS-related podcast by the board, for the board. We hope that you enjoy. Three, two, one. Welcome to episode 232 of the KissFAQ Podcast, and I am joined by at least one incorrigible reprobate, Andy Moyen.
What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up?
And look, those volume settings are holding. I'm really impressed, and I'm sure our listeners are going to appreciate this today. And
yeah,
we've got a new face, as you correctly reminded me, Jeff. We did see one another in Vancouver, right?
Absolutely.
So Jeff Hopkins and Andy Moyen. Jeff, whenever we have a new face on this show, I always put them through a little bit of an inquisition because we don't want to be too friendly. We want everyone to know where you're coming from as a KISS fan. So I always ask people, what was your first KISS album?
First KISS album was Kiss Kiss. Very first one.
What year would that have been for you?
That would have been 1975.
Right. So you are a very old school fan then.
Well, yeah, not old, just old school.
What about on the concert fronts? Obviously, we've just mentioned Vancouver. We were there for the kickoff of the End of the Road tour. What was your first KISS concert?
First KISS concert actually was in 77 in the Coliseum in Seattle.
Nice. Oh,
yeah.
You got history with the band. All right, and let's see. What are the other questions I usually ask folks? What's
your favorite song?
Yeah, good one. What's your favorite KISS song?
Well,
today.
Yeah.
Today?
Don't say yeah.
Flaming Youth. I'm a big fan of Rock and Roll Over, the album. Flaming Youth and Baby Driver's been kind of grabbing me lately.
Nice. That one's got a really good vibe to it. It's nice, kind of pulsing. Yeah, I've always dug that one. And, of course, Rock and Roll Over cannot go wrong with. All right, last question in this Inquisition. What flavor of Kool-Aid do you drink? Who's your KISS guy?
Well, until I met him, I was an Ace guy. But, we all have our bad days and whatnot. But, yeah, I'm kind of an Ace fan. I've met all the band members. I think my favorite, as far as meeting them, I got to go with Peter Criss.
Oh, hell yeah. I agree with you 100%.
The guy's just humble. He's down to earth. He's real and spends a lot of time with you. It's not rushed. It's just like us talking here.
Yep.
Agreed.
Peter Criss is awesome. And who would have thought it with, how people talked about him in the 90s, that he would turn into this elder statesman of historic stature. And he is so cool to see and to hang out with. He's got great stories. Fantastic cat. So,
absolutely.
Obviously, we went to Vancouver, so let me just get your quick views on that show. Did you enjoy it, and what were your thoughts of the kickoff of the End of the Road tour as someone who saw them in 77 as well?
I love going to shows in Vancouver. The Canadians are awesome people. I was pretty much blown away from the time that curtain dropped. The new stage is phenomenal. I dig it. Everything you got going on up above you, side of the stage, in front of the stage. I think they did a great job all the way through the whole deal.
Awesome. All right, so that's about the longest we've ever had Andy silent on this show. So
it's all right. It's all good because Jeff and I go back since Kiss Cruise I when we met on the beach in Grand Turk.
No, actually, it was Half Moon Cay.
Oh, Half Moon. I don't know. Whatever.
But I met you in the line for the excursions to get the cabanas at Half Moon Cay. Not to correct you, but
yeah. We met, but we just kind of brushed sides. You're like, I want to go where that guy's going, further away from the crowd, because I said I wanted the one furthest away. Because I think what 12 of them, only 12 cabanas.
Yeah.
And I says, man, I want one that's further away from the crowd. I mean, just because people just, I didn't mind Kiss fans coming in, but the ones that are really up close get really invaded by everybody and anything. You just know, it's just like a madhouse. It's just so there's only 12 of them, so the only way you could get them is you had to get on the ship. When you got a ship, you had to run to the excursion and basically beg for one if they had any left. And then when I jumped on, got there early in the morning because I knew, ran over to the excursion thing, and I'm like, man, I want one of the ones furthest away. And somebody had already grabbed the furthest one, I think, away, and then I grabbed the next one. And Jeff was kind of there, like, looking at me, and he's like, hey, I think I remember that guy or something like that. He goes, that guy's got something going on. I think I know or something like that. He goes, and then he just happened to pick the one. They just happened to pick the one next to me. It was kind of funny. And that's how
the rest is history.
Yeah. And I had like a bottle of I don't know, was it champagne or something with me?
Yeah.
I had snuck on the ship and
rum in the rum bags.
Yeah, rum in the rum bag. I stuck them on because I had those rum runners. I snuck them all on, and then we went out to the beach, and I'm out there in the water. And I'm like, hey, I can't drink this all by myself and stuff like this. I'm like, hey, you guys want some? Yeah, sure. And then conversation come up, and then they say, hey, can you come over want to come over and hang out at the cabana? I'm like, dude, mine's right here. I mean, they're so many feet away, but that's how this mad friendship got started.
Yeah.
So that's old school Kiss cruising, eh?
2011.
So
it's old now.
You're doing the 9th one, right? And you've done all 9. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've done all 8. We're supposed to do number 9.
Okay, so
we are doing.
Jeff, what about you? How many have you done?
I did the first 5.
Right, and then stopped. Are you doing number 9? Are you back?
No. I didn't do 6, but on 7 we had a not the Kiss Cruise, and that's a whole different story. But a bunch of cruisers got together that decided to not go on the Kiss Cruise, and we all went down to New Orleans, went to the pre-party, and then when the cruisers got on their ship,
gathering. You didn't go to the pre-party. Get it right.
Gathering.
All right, I don't want to hear any of this stuff about the pre-party crap.
The gathering. So when the cruisers got on their ship, our ship was docked right in front of them, and we went on a 7-day cruise and had a blast.
So you had a limited interaction with the Kiss fans that year. So number 9, I didn't hear your answer. Are you doing number 9?
No, I'm not.
Okay, same here.
And believe it or not, I'm going to say this, and people are going to freak out. Just laughing. We're still on the debate of going or not going. Even if I don't go on the cruise, I'm still going to go down and do the Living in Sin Lives Again thing. We're still flying. We're going to go see a couple of friends down in Tampa, go to Busch Gardens, come up to Miami. I'm doing a Living in Sin Lives Again. Lydia will be there, and Maria Contesta says she's going to stop by if nothing's going on, and who knows if other guests and stuff like that. But me and Kim are still on the debate if I'm actually going to go on Kiss Cruise 9. So I don't know. We still got some time to make up our minds if we want to go, because besides, we're getting married in October, right. 2 weeks before. It's a big deal. A Kiss themed wedding. And then, I don't know, we're just on a debate if we really want to go or not. We love to see everybody. That's the thing. I love Kiss, man. I love everything. But, it is kind of repeating itself now. And, they did let us down a lot last year with the music-wise for, this is supposed to be diehards, deep stuff, deep cuts, and absolutely nothing. It was kind of bummed out about that stuff. Plus, now the picture's gone, everything else is gone, the prices are going up. So, anyways, I don't want to get into that now. But
yeah, those are very similar reasons why I'm not going back. I kind of did a bucket list thing and got it off my list. I did a Kiss Cruise. I got to see them performing live on the high seas. I was let down by the set list. The people factor was fantastic. There were so many people, again, that I had known for years, and that is the one thing that I would miss by not going back. But it's just so expensive, and there wasn't enough kisses per dollar. I didn't get bang for my buck, I felt, in terms of Kiss, because everything was a paid interaction. And,
it's changed.
While I did the guitar, and got to experience that side of stuff, there was nothing else. There was, Tommy walked by on one occasion and did bump into Ace, but there was very little interaction outside of that. And that's not to put down the fans who I interacted with, because it was awesome from that perspective. But there you go. So that is the purpose of today's call, actually. And you did allude to it. I thought you were tired. So what is living insane?
What is living insane? Oh, yeah, the retired, the semi-retired stuff.
Oh, so now it's semi-retired, not retired? You're walking this one back slowly?
Yeah. Well, I kind of went into it on my own Facebook page, and I had a discussion with Jeff and some really close friends. There were when Jeff and I hosted. Jeff thinks Jeff's here too. When Jeff and I started this whole thing, it was about getting fans together. You know, Jeff's actually it's Jeff's famous words. So you, Jeff, say those famous words that you said it first, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. Even though people are now stealing and ripping off this. Honestly, anybody can say whatever. But Jeff, this was Jeff's. Go ahead, Jeff. You say it. You say it.
Well, anyways, when we decided to have a party, and it ended up, we came up with Living in Sin and whatnot. Basically, all it was by the fans, for the fans. We just wanted to have everybody get together and be able to mingle and talk. And then we threw in the charity thing and got a bunch of donations. We raised, like I think it was $34,000 for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And then that was doubled by them. But we were just fans doing it for the fans because that's what we enjoy. And that's kind of how that all started out. And we did 4 events together. And then after KK5, Denise and I opted not to go. We'd kind of made a deal with each other when it first started. It was supposed to be a one and done. And then the rumors started at flying at 5. And it's like, okay, if they're going to do 5, we're in it for all 5. And like you say, you don't get enough kisses for the dollar. And by the time we hit Kiss Cruise 5, it was more about the fans and being with our friends, our close friends that we've met. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we end up showing up in Miami for the parties, or show up in New Orleans, or
and that's a big
show
thing
up to Andy's house next month.
And that's the thing too. Jeff and I, we've met so many people from around the world and everything. It's hard to, I don't want to say get away, but this is why we do this stuff too, is that like Jeff said, the reason why we did this was to get people together, hang out, listen to tunes, get drinks, meet new friends, meet old friends that we haven't seen all year long because they're all from all over the world that show up, and and then the whole charity thing came into play, as Jeff said, and we raised a lot of money for the first 4 years. They decided not to go on number 5. So I says, okay, I'm going to change it, because I made the deal with Jeff. If they weren't going to do it, I wasn't going to do the charity thing, because number one, it's a lot of work anyways, but we just made the thing, the pat that said they wouldn't do it. And then I said, okay, let me kind of change the name. So I changed it to The Gathering. So on number 5, I didn't do any charity thing. It just had people.
6.
Was it 6? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
It was 6 that you didn't.
All right. So basically 6 is people at the Holiday Inn hanging around, listening to music, and a bunch of special guests showed up. I mean, more than we had in the first 5 years, which is like crazy. All of a sudden, you had all these people showing up. There was Lydia there, Maria Contessa, Big John Hart had never been out in a long time. He showed up, and I'm like, holy smokes. And Ken Sharp and all these people showed up, and it was just kind of hanging around. Everybody had a blast. And then the next following year, everything got moved to New Orleans. And then somebody else wanted to jump in with us long ago. You can ask Jeff. Jeff, right, Jeff? another person in his.
Andy and I we used the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
We did our parties. It was just Andy and I, and we had communication throughout the whole thing. Nothing happened without either one of us knowing about it. If we came up with an idea, we either both agreed on it. If one didn't like it, then it didn't happen. Yep. And that made it easy, and that's why it's successful as it was.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden the Kiss Cruise got moved to New Orleans, and another person wanted to help out, and he said he knew people down in New Orleans. He lived down on vacation and do stuff. So I said, okay. So I said, okay. I was kind of on debate to do it or not. So just doing it itself, period, without Jeff, and it just kind of like because basically you have to start all over, find a hotel. I didn't have to do that, but I did anyways. I didn't get the rides because it's just too much. And then try to find a place for something to happen. Now we got bands and all this stuff, and it just seemed to escalate very quickly into a thing where it lost its touch a little bit. For me personally, I know a lot of people enjoyed it, New Orleans and stuff. It was crazy. It was packed. There were some issues here and there, some cracks. As I said, I used to call it cracks leaking, and then things end up being okay. But then last year, when the cruise went back to Miami, set up the hotel, and then we're gonna do it. I found the place that they had it, and I can't remember the place that I'm off my top of my head. I got the Kiss tribute band. We got
the Hanger.
The Hanger, thank you. Because on my head, Mr. I set up the meeting for Mr. Vinny, as everybody knows that story, so I'm not going to go deep into that anymore. Good luck there, buddy, though. Goodbye, Vinny. Yeah, Vinny. I got to stick that into him. And his lovely friends on the side. Yeah, haha. So anyways, that's what you get for screwing with me. Anyways, now we're going to move on. So anyways, things got... It just seemed to blow up, not just because of other things and stuff like that. It just kind of went sideways. I like the special guests. The special guests were always nice to me. They always came up to me like, Lydia, hey, Andy, can I come to your thing? And I'm like, oh, sure. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And they just got crunched. Like, it was so packed, as you know. You guys know, because you guys were there last year. Yeah. It was so packed, and we knew we were kind of in trouble the night before. We went to rehearsals and saw like, oh my God, this is going to be insane tomorrow. And then when we saw the lines the next night, it was just like, oh, what are we going to do? So anyways, and there was some other stuff that went on, and I'm not going to get into the whole, that kind of stuff, but whatever, kind of moved on. And I just didn't like, me personally, I said I retired. I don't want to do anything with like the band stuff anymore. I had no offense to the bands. I thought FXF was off the hook. Those guys were awesome. They were great to work with. No complaints with them. I thought the Kiss America guys were fine. No problem with them. I thought the Van Halen, 1984, great, no problems. It just, I don't know. I'm not into, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. And I just didn't like the way, I didn't like it. So when I got home, I was very sick. And I think I just, I was so overtired, so doing everything, running around. I had a cough as usual. I got burnt out. I don't know. Ask Jeff. I had a breakdown. In the middle of the floor during Kiss America. I literally just had a total breakdown. Jeff's looking at me and he's like, "What's up?" And I'm just had a total breakdown. I just started crying in the middle of the floor and had a total breakdown in front of a bunch of people. I lost it. That was it for me. It wasn't, it's all, you always have, everybody will do this. Whoever does these things, and I know it's a lot of work. We know it's a lot of work. All the old times, fun. Work. And then last year, work, fun, gone. That's the point where it says, okay, this is just not fun for me that way anymore. So anyways, so when I got home, wasn't feeling good, kind of sick. Then I started picking everything up around here, the Kiss Cruz stuff, and I'm looking around. I'm like, man, I always wanted to kind of, do a swap trade, that kind of thing. And I said, I started talking to Kim. I'm like, Kim, I don't want to get back into the whole party thing, but how it sound like this swap kind of thing to go back to like the old days. I know Jeff's laughing, you guys laugh, but like the old days, except the hotel, which is not a big deal. The rides to the port the next day, it's not a big deal. It's easy because I know I have a great rapport with the hotel and the people who give it the rides, and they're on board. The Holiday Inn says. And I said, hey, man, can you play some music in the background in the bar? Can they set up the food, get the Kiss menus again? No problem. There will be a special cup. They're going to serve a special cup again just for that night only on the October 29th from 6 or 7 o'clock to midnight. They're going to play like music in the background. They have the TV, so they're going to play DVDs. So I might play like Kiss Meets the Phantom since it is October or stuff like that. So they're all up for it. They have a bunch of tables, 8-foot long tables. And then people, if you want to buy, trade, sell, whatever, swap, there's, like I said, 8-foot tables. Everybody takes, 4 and 4, half a table if we can. And then I have the conference room. So if we need the conference room for more tables and stuff like that, we can put everything in the conference room. So, like I said, Lydia Chris will be there. She has to jump on. I said, cool. Maria Contessa will be there if her schedules allows. And I did ask and sent the link to a lot of other special guests. If they like to come, they can sell their stuff, and we're just going to do it that way, plain and simple. I'm going back. I'm calling it going back to the old school, because a lot of the people that are still from the old school, as even Jeff's heard it, is that people love the old way, right? The old school stuff, Jeff. And Jeff's heard about it too through the years.
Oh, yeah.
People,
A lot of people want to just get together and do it the way we used to do it. You know, I mean, the big parties are fine and everything, but like Andy's saying, it's a lot of work. And you're getting on a ship for 5 days of nonstop. Going to a big party and kind of get you going off a slow way to the ship. But a lot of guys wanted to do it old school. A lot of the guests last year, you know, hit me up when I went to visit them, and it's like they wanted to go back old school. And so that's what Andy's doing. Andy's going to go back old school, do his swap. Just like the old days we did Living in Sin, we really didn't know who was showing up. And Andy knows a few of the people that are going to show up as special guests. And I'm sure, like always, a few of the other ones will come trickling in and just show up because they've always complimented both of us very much on how much fun they've had at the Living in Sin, just because of the environment and the atmosphere that's there.
yeah.
And as someone who was new last year to cruising, I will say that I preferred, in many ways, the Holiday Inn side of that evening. You know, of both evenings, when there was just crowds of fans hanging out together. There was DJ noise, you know, had the tunes going, but we were hanging out with each other, talking Kiss, getting drinks from the bar, and, you know, once we got over to the hangar, I mean, I told the story before that, you know, being packed against the wall, you know, as much fun as it was, again, meeting so many fans and selling books and doing that kind of thing was cool from that perspective. But I didn't get to experience the bands. I didn't like the environment of being packed in, and I'm not really into kind of that station club scene and, you know, little hangouts like that. I prefer the more casual hanging out back at the Holiday Inn, which is very relaxed. And I mean, when I went back, you know, I cut out of the hangar early. When I got back to the hangar, you know, there were a few people just hanging around in the lobby, you know, in the area, just fans hanging out casual, like. So, you know, I kind of get why that appeals versus the other side, which, you know, is cool and awesome too. But I can't even, well, actually, I do know how much work you put into it, because obviously we did talk a fair amount. So, you know,
and that's the other thing too. You know, like I said, there's fun. And in his work, okay, when it starts going the other way around, and people are gonna understand too. This is, you know, Jeff knows too. I mean, it's a year process. It's not something that takes 5 minutes. But going back to this Living in Sin thing, knowing that, you know, like I said, the rapport with the hotel, rides, and they know me and get the place. It's a much easier. It's a lot off the plate already. I'm more relaxed now. I feel great. Back to my normal self. I am actually normal. Well, Jeff knows that. Jeff sees it because Jeff and I talk all the time and this and that and stuff like that. You know, I'm back to myself. I don't feel no aggravation, no stress. Just let's just do this and have some fun. And also, I just want to mention, I know we got a couple other things we want to talk about too. I do have some, again, too, is that, you know, to swap, meet, you know, that kind of thing, trade. And I also have some leftovers. I didn't know what to do with them. I had talked about this before. I have some leftover posters. They're the 11 by 17. They're the Vinny posters. They're unsigned. I have the I Was There posters from the gathering, and I have
they're unsigned. Damn,
yeah,
imagine that.
Yeah, and I have the 4 by Fate posters that are signed. I have you know, a bunch of extras, and I'm gonna bring them down with me, and I'm gonna basically I'm actually gonna sell those. I'm not going to charge everybody a fortune. I just don't know what I'm going to charge. Maybe a couple bucks a piece, or maybe $5 or $10 for the sign. You know, all 4 guys signed the 4 by Fate ones, and I'm going to just give all that money to the charity, Breast Cancer Research Foundation, which gives like 92 or 93 cents per dollar to the cause, and it's from like all over the world. So this is why everybody asks, how come you do this? Because there's fans from all over the world, and this is for the donations for all over the world. It's not just one state or just the United States. It's all over the world. So it's a great thing.
All the fans will benefit from it, because what the Breast Cancer Research Foundation is they've got their doctors and their scientists and everybody working on the cure for breast cancer all over the world. So it's a joint venture, and so anybody that donates, whether you live in Switzerland or Germany or Mexico or the United States or Canada, everybody's going to benefit from it.
Yep. And just the last thing with the whole Living in Sin Lives Again too is that it's free. Anybody can come and just hang out, whatever. It's free. Just a free thing. That's it. There's no like, oh my God, there's no. You don't have to do nothing. You just come hang out. If you just want to go get the special cup, get the special cup. Go where you want. Do what you want. There's no pressure. We never gave. That's one thing too. We've never pressured anybody. You don't have to buy. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. I've always said that, and I also said, there's still rooms at the Holiday Inn. The blocks. The website is having a problem because they upgraded their whole system, so you have to call. I don't have the info in front of me. I wish I did, but it's the Holiday Inn and Biscayne Bain Boulevard. If somebody needs the room or something, just ping me and I can give you the phone number, and there's an email for people from like overseas or something, because they just upgraded their system because they're getting bought out or something, interstate hotels or something like that. So they do the whole, I don't know, upgrade thing. So that's what that. So leading into the breast cancer research station, can we just move on to
No, because I have a couple more questions about Living in Sin. About what time will it start?
I don't know, 6 or 7 o'clock, basically, till like midnight. That's how we're just playing it. People start coming and they start, Holiday Inn will probably start maybe selling the cups at 5. I don't know. Whenever they start to selling the cups and stuff. And it's going to be a limited cups because it's only one night. Last year I had like 300 cups. And I think there were like 20 cups left. So, and they did like 300 something cups, 350. So I think we're going to maybe have 100 to 150 cups. So, just have to get it when they last. I'm not going to show the design. So usually I like to surprise people. So it could be some more surprises. Like Jeff said, you never know who could show up. There's a lot of people that know what's going on. So we're just going to wing it. And that's the way I'm winging it, man. Love it. Like I said, let the pressure off.
All right. Move on to your next thing then.
All right. Go ahead. Where do you want to start? Go ahead, Jeff. You want to start it? Go ahead.
Are you talking about when the East Coast and the West Coast collide?
Again.
Yeah. Well, you got 2 guys, 2 states, 2 parties, 2 KISS concerts in 2 days. That's what we're going to be doing. First party will be in Boston at Tavern at the Square.
Yep.
Going to get together probably around 4 o'clock. It's absolutely free. It's kind of like the old school days with Living in Sin. Going to get together, have some drinks, BS, hang out, meet new friends.
Sounds more like the bar crawl without the crawl.
Pretty much. It could turn into that.
So what's happening is when we were getting on the ship last year, Jeff was down in Florida. He flew down to Florida, but he didn't go on the cruise, but he flew down to Florida to hang out with everybody. And, him and his wife flew down to Miami to hang out with us and stuff. But the next day, KISS, I don't know if it was KISS or whoever, the promoters, whatever, released the KISS tickets, for this end of the thing while everybody was getting on a ship. Nice move. Thanks a lot. Assholes. Anyways, so we're trying to, I don't think, here's these diehards. There's a lot of diehard. I say diehards, just diehards all over the place too. Big fans. But the ones who are getting on the cruise, man, were like, at the Holiday Inn or wherever they were staying and trying to get online to get tickets, and the line was bogged down, the internet was bogged down. They gave us codes to get tickets, but everybody's trying to get to the ship so they can get on the ship. It was a mass chaos in ways. So, anyways, I ended up getting the Boston. My Boston tickets because I'm from, out New England area. And Jeff turns around and he said, staying up there, and he's getting, he's in his, I go to his room, and him and Denise are on, Denise is on, Denise is on her phone or wherever she's computer trying to get Vancouver tickets and Washington tickets, and Jeff's on the thing trying to get New York City tickets. Right?
Yeah. We only bought 12 concert tickets that day.
And it's probably because of you that I wasn't able to get any tickets whatsoever. So I'd just like to thank you all, all the fans who were able to buy tickets that day. I could not get a fucking signal anywhere. I tried laptops, phone. I used my phone, used the Wi-Fi, then got on the boat, couldn't do anything, could not get tickets. Finally managed to remote control my home computer, But it was a nightmare. I ended up with crap. I wasn't able to use any of my codes, even the special Kiss Cruise codes. I was absolutely pissed off. And then Doc gave that wonderful speech about how he wanted everyone happy. So I emailed him and said, "Hey, I'm not happy." Static.
Yeah.
But I am happy now with the shows I've seen. I mean, but I had to pay above and beyond to get those. Didn't get any discount, and people are probably like, "Ha ha." Well, there you go. That's life.
So turn around is that Jeff had bought New York. He's like, "Hey, do you guys want to go to New York?" And I'm like, "Sure." And Jeff and Denise have never been to New York City to see Kiss.
You haven't?
You guys haven't? No, and Kim hasn't either. So I'm like, I've been here, 1, 2, 3rd. This will be the 4th time. Well, yeah, 3 times with Kiss, 1 time with A. So I kind of, been in the area. I'm not a New Yorker, but I know the area a little bit. So anyways, you saw that thing when I went running around. Oh, plus the Peter Chris. Then I went running around, going to spot to spot to finding these Kiss spots. That crazy thing I did for like 12 hours. And Kim's like, "Oh my God, crazy." So anyways, Jeff, I'm like, "Hey, Jeff, man, if you're flying to New York City, why not fly all the way to Boston? You might as well fly another hour or so. Fly to Boston, come in, hang out with me. Let's go to the Boston show together, everybody. Come here and hang out, and then we'll go to New York City the next day. So we'll do the 2 shows in a row." But so, anyways, we found in Boston. I found this place called what I said. Geez,
Tavern in the Square.
Thank you, Tavern in the Square. So, like Jeff said, we're gonna have a meet and greet from a meet up with people from 4 to 7, and me and my kooky mind of mine, Jeff knows. He's like, "Man, you just keep doing this stuff." I wanted to have a little fun again. Not only. I mean, you don't have to, but it's a free thing. Go to the bar, hang out. Even the bar's like, "What do you want?" "Nothing, dudes. You guys gonna make a ton of money. Just play Kiss tunes and let people drink and have some fun." So, anyways, I thought this crazy idea. Again, is that I wanted to do something kind of cool. Old school meets new school in a way, but for charity. Here we go, for charity again, for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So what we're going to do it is that Jeff and I, we made a special pin and poster for the event for that night for the Boston show.
Cool.
So here's the pin. This is old school meets new school, if you understand what I mean. So here is the pin. It says, I was there.
Awesome.
And as it says Boston with the date on it. Now, if you look back in the frame, it's really hard to see it because it's like the old school. It says Kiss all sideways, like the old school pin. So basically, it's like a Kiss Alive 2 pin. The old Kiss Alive 2. It's 2.5 inches round. And we also made kind of the same thing, but in a poster-wise. But it's 11 by 17. So it says, I was there poster. And it says, last Kiss show, Kiss fans meet up at the Tavern at the Square.
Excellent.
So there you go.
Awesome.
So they're going to go as a pair. So it's a pair. So they're together. So if you go on the Boston show, if you want one, there's 50 sets. So there's 50 sets and they're only $10. And the money's going to go to charity, the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So that's ding, ding, ding. So if you want a pair, don't ask for a poster separate or a pin separate. They're going to go together. And I think we're going to wipe out pretty quick. So the next day, where we going, Jeff? Where we going the next day?
Going to New York City.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gonna take the train.
We're gonna take the train.
Take the train.
Yep.
It's gonna be a hell of a turnaround because we won't get back to Andy's until probably after midnight, 1 o'clock, and then we got to hit the road at 3:30 at the latest to drive to Connecticut to get the train to get into New York City.
It'll be fun.
So, yeah. No rest for the wicked.
Yeah.
And you'll love every minute of it.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yep. So this is Jeff's. So I had set up the Boston one, talking about the Boston one, and then Jeff goes, "Hey man, you know what? We're going this far, coming all the way, man. Let's do New York City." And I'm like, "What do you want to do in New York City?" He goes, "Let's do the same thing we're doing in Boston. Let's do it in New York City." And I said, "Okay, man. You sure?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Let's do this, man. Let's rip it up. Why not? Let's do the same thing." So the same thing from like basically 4 to 7, kind of same thing. Did it again. So we got to do. It's a 2.5-inch round pen. It says, I was there, MSG, baby. It's a old school mixer. We got a little Kiss band like in the background. And we got the poster. Same thing, but the date, bigger. It's 11 by 17, same thing. So it's the last Kiss show. Kiss fans meet up at the Stout. It's a Stout New York City flagship. And basically, it's basically Madison Square Garden's here. you have the Hotel Pennsylvania, was the expo was, the Peter Chris Expo, and probably 50, 60 feet down that thing. If you're walking down, it'll be on your left-hand side. You can't miss it. So that's where we're going to be. And we have the whole downstairs. They actually opened the whole downstairs for us. At first, they were like, well, and I'm like, then they saw how big this is, like big, and they're like all into it. So they're going to play Kiss tunes and stuff. And then they're like, oh, they're going to give us the downstairs. Well, not only that, Lydia Chris says, hey, Andy, man, what are you doing in New York City? I said, this is what's going on. She goes, can I come? Can I come hang out? Can I sell some books? Can I do it? I'm like, sure, man, let's do this. I said, could you do me a favor, Lydia, though? And she says, what? I said, could you get Richie Fontana to come? And she goes, let me check it out. Let me ask him. Bingo! Yes, Mr. Richie Fontana is going to show up. Now, if you're a Kiss fan, if you don't know who Richie Fontana is, you're not a die-hard old school Kiss fan. Who's Richie? Come on. Who is he? Come on. Who is he?
Lydia's boyfriend.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but what else did he do?
Played on Paul's album.
Yep, played drums on the first four songs of Paul's.
Yeah, Paul's album.
Then I'm always trying to remember which band he was in. Was it Piper?
Piper.
Yeah, good. Open up for Kiss at the Garden.
Yeah. So they're gonna come and hang around, and like I said, we're gonna do that from 4 to 7 at the the Stout flagship, New York City flagship, and it is free. They're both free. Come hang out. All they're gonna do is and I had some people ask if kids can come. Not really in the Boston one, but more the New York City one. I've had people ask. Kids can come. The place is huge, but they just can't go downstairs. I don't know what the deal is with the downstairs. I don't know.
That dart room holds like 400 people, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll have
place
plenty
is
of room
huge
for everybody.
Yeah, the place is huge.
Yeah, and they're excited.
Oh yeah, and they got this
excited.
Yeah, there's food upstairs and everything else. The place. So like even if where everybody's downstairs and stuff, the kids can't go downstairs. But if the parents come downstairs or whatever, they go back upstairs. There's food. There's gonna be people like all over the place. And it's open. It's open to everybody. We're not whatever. It's free. Come and go as you please. It's the same thing. Like even a Boston show, they're both the same thing. They do a little money for. Oh yeah, and both nights. The posters are 100. I have 100 posters and pins for New York City. You figured we're gonna have, I don't know what it is. I figure we're gonna have more people for the New York on that one. So there's 100 sets, and the money's gonna go to the breast cancer research. So we're gonna take the money from the Boston show and New York show, combine it, and then we're gonna get a check, basically a check or a money order, something, and it's gonna be on behalf of the Kiss fans. So and then we're gonna post it so everybody can see the proof that it's going to the right spot and stuff like that. So, it's a win-win situation. So,
and then you get to, or Jeff gets to see Kiss at the Madison Square Garden. I mean,
yeah,
that's
been on my bucket list.
That's been on my, when I went to the Forum show, I'm like, damn, I really ought to go to the other legendary places that are still around. And I'm like, which ones are at Madison Square Garden? Obviously, there's nothing in Detroit left, so that's what made me decide to do it. I was just like, I've missed all these Kiss shows throughout my life. This is like end of the road. So I've just done the Forum. I got to do Madison Square. I had 10 years growing up in New York, so I got to see a show in what was my home state as a kid when I became a Kiss fan. So that's going to be awesome. I'm staying at the Hotel Penn, so it's easy to crawl across the road to the Garden. So.
Hey. And also, everybody, this is new breaking news. I forgot to add this on. New breaking news just tonight. He just found out. He just told us. Right? He just said it. Julian's going to Madison Square Garden. Julian will be at our event function along with Lydia and Richie, and he will have special pins, right? Come on, tell us.
Yeah, I'll have
breaking news.
Yeah, I'm going to have special pins with me as well, which I've been handing out at all the shows that I've gone to. I will find people so that those who don't get to any of the events are able to get some at the show. I'm going to find people to give a handful of, to give to fans around them at the shows. I've only got 100 for Madison Square Garden because I've just kept it to 100 for each. And, I'll make sure you get some to distribute because I have no idea where I'm going to be right now with New York. There's a lot of things I got to do while I'm there. So,
What, you want me to take you to, you want me to take you to Dress to Kill spot? That's what I'm taking Jeff and Denise and Kim. That's the first thing on the list. It's probably the biggest thing I mean, there's so many big things in New York City that Kiss did.
Yeah,
And,
I've got some personal things I got to do while I'm there. I've been to the Dress to Kill corner once, and that's probably enough. I've been to the Loft, been to the Subway, where obviously with going to the Dress to Kill corner, where the phone booth was.
Yep.
Where else have I been? I went to other places when I was there. So, I kind of been to I walked by the water fountain where they did photos and so I've been to a bunch
Empire
of places.
State Building.
Yeah.
The place that Paul said from his book that he, I forgot the name of it. I got it here. CGO's or something like all that. Or you might go down there for lunch. It's down near the Empire State Building. It's down that way. Where if you see it in Paul's book, he actually writes about it after playing, like Madison Square Garden those 4 nights in the 70s, and basically sitting there eating matzo ball soup or something like that, all by himself, and nobody knew who he was.
Oh,
and he's sitting there.
Yeah, after the Madison Square show in his book. Yeah, I remember that. There's so many places to go and see in New York. I wanted to go to, there are a couple other rehearsal lofts where the band practiced. One was with Malimo, Ace's band. They stayed friends with them, and they actually rehearsed at their loft as well as the other loft. So, I mean, there's a ton of different locations. Someone's got to do a guide to Kisstory in New York City, a little pamphlet.
You talk to Jeff. Watch this. You talk to Jeff for a second. Watch this. You go.
So why Madison Square Garden for you? I mean, is it just strictly a bucket list thing? Because that's what it is to me. When you look at that iconic venue outside, I mean, it's just like Kiss. That's where they made their bones in 1977. Yeah. That's where they felt that they had made it. And I'm like, now there's an opportunity to go see it. I mean, what's it mean to you?
Yeah, same here. It's iconic. It's like, if you're ever going to see Kiss, you've got to see him at MSG. And when the rumors started flying around about the end of the road tour and whatnot, I talked to my wife, Denise, and it's like, one place we got to go. We got to get tickets, Madison Square Gardens. She's like, into it. So like Andy was saying, when everybody's trying to get out at Holiday Inn and get on the ship, I'm sitting out front. I wouldn't say I was hungover, but I wasn't in my best shape. I'm on my phone trying to get those MSG tickets. Denise was on her phone trying to get Vancouver tickets, and we live right in between Seattle and Tacoma. So once I got the Madison Square Garden tickets, she ended up getting the Vancouver seats, and then we got Tacoma, and then of course they announced Ace Frehley in Seattle that day also, so we ended up buying tickets to go see Ace again. And then like Andy was saying, told him when we were thinking about flying out to New York and what we were going to do to meet up and whatnot, and that's when he said, well, Kiss was playing in Boston on Tuesday, so why don't you just come in on Tuesday and we'll go to the show, and we're coming in on Sunday, so we'll hang out and do some stuff. We've got some other friends coming over to visit Andy from overseas, and then the trip will begin. It'll be a blast. But I'm really looking forward to Madison Square Gardens. I won't be doing any live streaming. I will take a few photos, but I'm just there to absorb and experience something I've been waiting most of my life for.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy the first time. Even I, like I said, I've been there a couple times now. I went there in '96. I was there in '92. I got lucky because in '96 I was so far away, old now, because you didn't have the internet. You couldn't get on and buy tickets. I had to buy them for a scalper. I had to get on the train. There was didn't have all the fancy stuff. It was all a crap shot. We still made it though, and then after that, things got better. I had to take a bus home on one of them. I saw Sonic Boom there, Live 35 there. So I seen, those three. Now this is going to happen. Now you were saying maps. I have been working on this for about 5 years, and I have maps. These are pages of stuff that I keep looking for, either Kiss spots and this and that. And I even had to blow it up. I have maps that I blew up the city. And I keep, from you know what I mean? I have maps of Kiss spots, but they're so far and they're all over the place. And it keeps adding on, and I keep I mean, this is just different sections of New York City, Long Island. I mean, people are like, yeah, you could make a KISS store. Yeah, you could make a KISS store, but you need a year just to go to every spot and then I made the super map. I mean, I made like this thing's like 4 feet tall. I mean, just to give you an idea of how big they are. And then that's not even. And then I started one that I thought I was going to go to this year because I found a lot of spots from his books and hearing stuff. I started doing an Ace Frehley one just on Ace Frehley alone, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to have to go to the Bronx and all this other wonderful places. I want to go to the park and with a beer in my hand because you have hard times and play, hard times and sit there with a beer in my hand and some of those photos he had with a beer in my hand, crack a beer open and listen to hard times in the area that he hung out. It's be so, surreal. But again, though, yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be blast with Jeff and I, New York, Boston, New York City, couple guys hanging out, really good friends. We're just going to have a blast. We'll meet up with you. This is all going to be good.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It seems like a week since I had my last KISS show, and I'm going through withdrawal symptoms. I didn't do, some guys did the full-on 14-show tour. Other people have, did you do Tacoma and Seattle as well, Jeff?
I skipped Portland. Mm-hmm. Portland was the day after Vancouver, but then I went to Tacoma. We had my wife and 3 of our 4 kids were there. So it was a family affair.
Cool. Nothing
had an absolute blast.
Nice. Yeah, I know. Rub it in. See, because Jeff says, Andy, you can fly here. I'm like, I know. I just, yeah. The time
I tried to put him on the spot and bought him 2 tickets for Vancouver, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it.
The timing with this stuff is so bad for me. It's just killing me. Hey, I got and I got a wedding.
You got a wedding. I got a backdrop I got to ship to you, but I'm like, do I ship it to you or just bring it out with me to New York? And
ship it. Is that bad?
No,
the less stuff I got to lug. The better.
It's getting shipped because it weighs over 5 pounds. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, that's going to be fun. All right, let's wrap that up. So,
but again,
living in sin.
You're in Boston. First of all, if you're going to the Boston show, meet us. Tavern at the Square. Did I say that right? I'm screwing myself.
Tavern at the Square.
From 4 to 7, free. Hang out. You can buy $10 pin poster for charity for breast cancer. The 27th, New York City. If you're around, I know that's crazy. Same thing. Say 4 to 7, we're going to be there. Lydia Chris will be there. Richie Fontana will be there. Julian will be there. We'll be there. We want to meet you, have fun, have a beer. Let's just, come on, people, man. If this is really going to be it, which it looks like it's going to be it, man, and people should do these things. If you don't, this is, this stuff doesn't last forever, so.
Yep.
New York City at the Stout. Next to the Pennsylvania Hotel across the street from Madison Square Gardens.
Yep. And we will be there, and we hope to see whoever there. You guys there, ladies there, kids there, whatever. We're just here to have fun. We only live life once. Let's just enjoy the ride, man. The last ride. Let's just enjoy the ride, I guess, right?
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Not just a train ride.
Awesome. All right, Jeff. And Andy, thanks a lot for joining us to give us an update on all these exciting things. I can't wait to see you in New York. That's going to be fun. That's really what it's become for me, is getting together with fellow fans. It's more important, it's more fun than just about anything. And take these opportunities to get together with people who put together events or just gatherings or get-togethers. It doesn't matter what they're called. Just take advantage of hanging out with fellow KISS fans and swapping stories, and also shaking hands with people that you may have known online that you're finally meeting in person. Because it's much more fun, old school than.
Yep. And one more, I just want to give a shout out to Pasquale. He's up in Canada, in Montreal. He's kind of doing the same thing that we're doing. His is on March 16th or 17th, that Saturday, up in Montreal. So if you're in the Montreal area, the weekend before the show, because their show is on the 19th. So he's having a big, huge kind of thing like we're doing in Montreal with, I think it's KISS and some other things going on. So shout out to Pasquale I know he does a lot of hard work, and he does it, for the right reasons too, to have fun and just to get fans to meet up. So I just want to give him a shout out for that. So, okay.
All right. Brilliant. Thanks a lot for your time, guys.
All right, thanks.
Look forward to seeing MSG.
See you in about 3 weeks. Yeah.
Rock on.
Thank you for spending time listening to the KissFAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you'd like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KissFAQ message board and discuss the topic we've broadcast today. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spreaker, or wherever you've listened to the show. We hope you'll join us again.